I've been meaning to make this video for the longest fucking time, and now I think I'm gonna finally get around to doing it. I love the idea of collecting, but then I also love the idea of minimalism and keeping only the things you need. But I'm starting to shift to a mentality that if it makes you happy and if it doesn't take space, like emotional space, not just physical space, and you genuinely want to keep it. That's why I'm interested in curating even like little apps like Letterboxd and Goodreads, because it's a way of physically collecting things that you've consumed. And one of the things that I like to buy, because I love to buy things, but one of my favorite things to buy is books. Buying books should be studied, because I love buying books more than I like reading them. Now I love reading. One of my last year resolutions was to read a lot more, and I think I got it. I read about 20 books last year, and I'm really happy about it, because before that I didn't have a habit of reading as big as I do now. It makes me feel good. I love learning and I love studying and I love being knowledgeable, and I love art. I'm currently studying a master's degree on like pathway inside fine art, and I love it. And I never thought of myself as an artist. I feel like I struggle with that a lot, but that's a whole different topic. So basically, I love books, I love art, I love catalogue books and art books, so I started collecting them. I collect books in general. I like to keep every single book that I read, although it's not always possible, because books can be really expensive. Basically, I'm just gonna go through my collection of art books and catalogue books. I'm gonna start with the most recent book I got, which I think it's Photographing Britain in the 80s. It's an exhibition that's currently going on at the Tate. There's so many artists from so many different disciplines inside photography, and so many different backgrounds as well within Britain, which really shows how multicultural the UK has been. There's loads of photography on protest and political this is one of my favorite pictures on the exhibition. There's also, I love this bit. It's From Today, Black and White is Dead. You can really get a chance to see what living in the UK was back then. The only thing I would say is that it is printed on paper, on like paper and not like shiny paper, which makes the photos look a bit dull. But overall, the next one is this one. It's Steve McQueen's catalogue book from 2020. I love Steve McQueen so much. I think he's an amazing artist, and he is the reason why I am interested in video art. Like, there has been a before and an after I discovered Steve McQueen. My favorite artwork I think ever is called Ashes. You can't really see it, but this is how the exhibition space looked. I just walked through here and I was staring at this and I was like, wow, this is quite beautiful. It was a video of this man. He looked quite happy and he was in like a paddle board. It was like a tiny boat. It was just him on the sea and you could hear the waves, and it was like really calm and relaxed. And I was like, actually, this is quite nice. You had to like go behind the screen to exit the room, and I started hearing like pickaxes and like stone breaking, and I was a bit confused. Then there was another video on the back of it, and it was a video about how his grave was being built, and in the grave video there was also a narration, and it was this story about how Ashes was murdered because of some like drug thing that was really fucking stupid, and like he stole some drugs and he thought he was gonna be rich and he was really happy, and then the people that the drugs were from killed him. And I was really shocked, because I had a really happy, like nice warm feeling after seeing that the other side of the exhibition. And it's just a really heartbreaking story, but the way that it was exhibited, I think is really, really clever, and it really makes you imagine what Steve McQueen would have felt like. The last time I saw Ashes, we were in a paddleboard and I was filming him. It was beautiful, and then next time I come, they're building his fucking grave. What the fuck? But yeah, it was a very, very beautiful piece, and if you get the chance to ever see it, I would definitely recommend. I'm gonna go with something a bit different. Still digital media. It's this Simon Wheatley book. It's called Lost Dreams, and it's a photography book from between the 2005 and 2007 in East London. And it talks about the grime scene, like what grime meant back then and how it impacted the kids. I think it's a book with a lot of humor, while at the same time being really heartwarming and touching and nostalgic. During this time, where the pictures were taking, I didn't fucking know what grime was. I didn't know what East London was, but this book really made me feel like I was part of something, and like maybe we did lose to technology and social media and how different childhoods and stuff is. For some part for the better, but there's no longer a sense of community between children. What I meant about there's a lot of humor in this book, which might not be funny, but I think it's quite like they're just kids, like being kids. They're just fighting, which is not funny. I'm not saying people fighting is funny, although I watch baddies. This is my favorite part of the book. It's this picture. It's three brothers, and before this picture you get Glade's story. So Simon asks this person, the older brother, to write about his experience living in East London during that time and what that community really meant to him and his brothers and what impact it has made to their development. And it's such a beautiful story. I really love it. I want to do something that's not like photography, but that's basically all I have. I'm just realizing now. I've got this book. It's from the Tate. It's also an exhibition that's currently going on. It is the Mike Kelly catalogue book, and I got this before I even got to see the exhibition, so I didn't know what to expect, especially because I know Mike Kelly is very multidisciplinary, and I was very curious to see how they would capture his essence in a printed book. If you don't know Mike Kelly, I'm just going to show you this picture. You probably would recognize this one, which is the image that Sonic Youth used for one of his albums. Mike Kelly, he was generally like actually insane. Is he alive? I don't think he's alive. What I appreciate most about him is that he's always been himself. This sounds so wet, but he's generally someone, like an artist, that you could 100% say they're themselves, because no one could fake being this weird. Like, what? He was very much performance based. He was not embarrassed to do anything, and that is something that I struggle to do in my own art, to like really expose myself, not be embarrassed about just showing who I am and what I can do, or like feeling self-conscious about it. This is one of my favorite artworks. It's just a painting that says I forgot. I just think this is so silly and so like I forgot, almost meaningless, but I think that's what's so nice about him, is that I feel like he doesn't overthink things. There's so much humor and so much depth at the same time. I don't know how he does it. But this video is called The Banana Man, and he talks about dicks and vaginas, and like, I love it so much because it's so silly. This was in the 80s as well. This was in like 80s, early 90s. He was absolutely bonkers. Everyone thought he was fucking insane. This one's called Hot Properties by Oliver Croy. It's a compilation of pictures that were used to sell some houses, with captions that were used on sex ads. And it really, I sound so cliche, but it really puts on perspective both honestly any market, but also the fact that we're like, they're marketing actual people, women, fun. There's some really funny ones. It's funny, but it's not really funny at all. So this house, beautiful house, it says 100% gorgeous, I promise it's me. This one is amazing. This one's my favorite, I think. It says golden showers. This one's also favorite. Just Jessica. Thank you, Oliver Croy. Thank you. Everyone say thank you. Okay, another book. It's called Home Is Not a Place, and it's by John Pitt and Roger Robinson. It's a photography book again. It's photographies that have been taken all over the UK. I think they took a trip all across the UK from London to like Glasgow or something. The way that the book is set up is they have these pictures and then they have some poems to go with them, maybe about what the picture was saying or what happened during taking the picture or where in their trip was, what they were discovering. about not only themselves but the UK. What I really like is that it's really homely. What happens with poetry, which is very controversial, I really do like reading poetry, but I've talked about this with some people, and it's true that poetry can sometimes be really fucking boring, but this, it's like reading someone's like journal almost. It's all about what it takes to call a place a home and a country a home and a person at home. Talking about homes, I got this book. It's called Households, and it's pictures of people's houses and the people that live in the houses. I've always said that I wish I could just go into people's houses just to look around. Like, not because I'm a creep, but just because I'm curious. Like, a house says so much about who you are, and it's just so interesting to me. Like, I want to see your house. I love the Netherlands because they don't have fucking curtains. I could see everything, and I can just imagine who lives in that space and what they like to do, what they don't like to do, what do they eat for lunch, what, I don't know, like, what's the relationship with their family. Like, I love imagining all of those things. Or the other way around, when I see someone, I'm imagining their house immediately. And this book is kind of like everything. I did want to make a project of people's houses and the people that live in them, which is kind of like architecture digest. But yeah, I think that has actually been done. There's a surprise in this book, and it's that there are genitals exposed. There are genitals exposed in this book. For example, so you see this person's house, and then you see them, and then you see them without clothes. But it's also like, again, there's also something about seeing someone. I'm not trying to be a creep. I don't mean this in a sexual way at all. But I would love to see people naked. Just because I'm curious. I'm a Gemini. I'm just curious. I just want to know what you got going on. Actually, do not flash me. Maybe I can make house tours, but the people are naked. But yeah, this is really beautiful, for example. This is the inside of the house. I absolutely love the fucking windows. Are you joking? This is the outside, and then this is the family that lives there. This book is by Rhea Dillon. It has lots of poetry, like actual written out text, and it talks mainly about race and like the commodification of black bodies, especially women, and black heritage and memories. One of my favorite pieces in the exhibition was this one. It's just a piece of lace, and it's hanged like a flag. I'm gonna show you this one. It's Nan Goldin, amazing photographer from the 80s, 90s. This is the book from the exhibition that they had on the Academy of Arts in Berlin. If it doesn't ring a bell, you would recognize this picture. It's just really, really amazing photography. I think it's like her photography is like, she makes people get naked emotionally in front of the camera. Next book, it's a Bible, it's a virtual mass, and it's by Anthony Martin. Obviously this book immediately caught my attention because I love like commentary on religion, especially Catholicism. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, they're selling a Bible at an art bookshop. But no, it's just a compilation of screenshots that have been taken on church live streams during the pandemic. It's fucking, I forget we even went through that. I forget how fucking weird it was. I never thought how religious groups were dealing with it. Again, I feel like there's loads of humor in this book. There's someone like cleaning the church and they took a screenshot of that. And at the same time, well, there's so much like, what the fuck's going on? Like, this is weird, disturbing, to like, this was actually one of the saddest times we've lived. There's some pictures of funerals and how people weren't really allowed to grieve people. I don't know, I really like thinking about the faith people have in God and religion. Kind of appreciate, in a sense, the devotion that people put onto religion. And the weight it has on their lives. This is fucking beautiful. This is amazing. Really, really love this book. I think it's a really original concept, and it's a really good time capsule of what we went through during the pandemic. I'm gonna finish with two books. This one is Award Incoming from an exhibition they had at Tate Modern. It's contemporary African photography, as it says here. I think it's such so beautiful. I think it has so many amazing topics like heritage and identity and tradition and religion and colonialism, spirituality. I love Käthe-Kollwitz-Preis. I fucking love her. I think she was amazing. Rest in peace. This ones are some of my favorite photographies. One of my favorite artists that I discovered in this exhibition is called Sabelo Mlangeni, and he is a photographer from South Africa. I want to show you the spread. They kind of had it like that, like the same images were like on the wall, kind of on the same way. I literally almost started sobbing when I saw this. What the fuck? What the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? This is literally life. No, but seriously, I was like, I need to know who this person is. And then I got the little book. He has series on the woman that cleaned the streets in Johannesburg. He has a series on trans women living in the countryside of South Africa, kind of to escape the oppression that they suffered in the cities, and they create their own communities. It's just really touching and really beautiful, and I really love him as a photographer. And yeah, I recommend looking into it. And that's it. My hands are really fucking cold from this. I am trying to purchase more painting or other disciplines, because I feel like I find it hard to look for inspiration or to like notice things that I could use for my own practice in painting, sculpture, whatever. So I really want to look into that more. I don't know, I could do a lot more videos about books than I might do. Bring print media back. Bring magazine, bring zines, bring out books. We need tangible media, please. I'm begging. Anyways,